Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam to all the Vaishnavas listening to me. Today we will start from 15th question of the chapter Self-Realization and the Achievement of Perfection. Before that, I would like to put forth a few things. This most probably is the last session for the recitation of this book, Sri Bhakti Vinoda Vani Vaibhav, and the recitation for day 21st, which was on 19th June. There was no audio for that recitation, so I will be doing that again and uploading very soon. Before continuing with the 15th question, let us offer our prayers at the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev and all our previous acharyas. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namostate Tadkanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Vancha Kalpatarubhescha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patita Nama Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. 15th question. What is the symptom of Swarasiki Siddhi? Answer is, the supremely chaste and restless gopis of Vraja are the treasury of Swarasiki Siddhi. The meditation of yogis and the knowledge of impersonalists cannot reach that stage. On such a platform, one can directly see the Lord during his midday pastimes. O servants of the lotus feet of Radha, please engage me in appropriate service to Sri Radha according to the moment's need. 16th question. What does those who follow in the footsteps of Sri Rupa desire as their perfection? Answer is, when will this maid servant achieve perfection and live on the banks of Sri Radha Kunda, giving up her previous memories and constantly serving the lotus feet of Sri Radha and Krishna? 17th question. What are the characteristics of those who serve Sri Radha? Answer is, you are a maid servant of Radhika. Therefore, you should not independently serve Krishna without her permission. Even though you display equal affection towards both Radha and Krishna, you should endeavor more for the loving service of Radhika than for the loving service of Krishna. This is called seva. Your service is to serve Sri Radha 24 hours a day. 18th question. What does it mean to take birth in the house of a cowherd of Vraja? Answer is, some Vaishnava authors have explained that Swarupa Siddhi means to take birth in the house of a cowherd in Vraja even before the practitioner completes his sadhana. This is correct. Thus, a Vaishnava attains second birth before Vastu Siddhi. The devotee's attainment of a gopi form is the complete attainment of his pure second birth, Apanadasa. When a practitioner's body, which is made of material qualities, is destroyed, then he progresses from Swarupa Siddhi and achieves Vastu Siddhi. 19th question. How much respect does a pure devotee give to the Lord's abode and the service of the Lord's devotees? Answer is, when will I offer my respectful obeisances at the feet of the residents of the Dhama and beg their mercy? When will I wander like a mendicant after smearing the dust from the feet of the Vaishnavas on my body? 20th question. Does a pure devotee differentiate between Gaura Mandala and Vraja Mandala? Answer is, When will I attain service to Sri Radha? When will I stop making a distinction between Gauramandala and Vrajamandala and thus become a resident of Vraja? At that time, the Dhama's actual form will manifest before my eyes and I will become Sri Radha's maidservant. With that, we complete 107th chapter and now start 108th chapter. The topic of this chapter is benedictions for the whole world. First question: how will the world truly be benefited? Is Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakura's heartiest desire to benefit the entire world beyond understanding? Answer is: we are completely indifferent to the advancement and deterioration of our material situation. But we are naturally busy for the advancement of the living entity's spiritual life. We are even ready to throw the happiness of our life in the water to benefit our brothers. The primary engagement of Vaishnavas is to deliver their fallen brothers from the well of material existence. The more the Vaishnava's family expands, the more the atheist's family diminishes. This is the natural law of the universe. Let the love of devotion of all living entities flow towards the unlimited Supreme Lord. Let Vaishnava principles, which are the source of happiness, gradually spread from one end of the universe to the other. Let the hearts of those who are averse to the Lord melt with love of God. By the Lord's mercy, the association of devotees and the influence of devotional service, let third-class people become first-class and take shelter of pure ecstatic love. Let the exalted Madhyama Adhikaris renounce their doubts and their cultivation of knowledge and establish themselves in the science of love. Let the whole universe echo with the sound of congregational chanting of the holy names of Hari. Second question: Did Srila Thakur Bhaktivinoda have a strong desire to preach the holy names of Hari all over the world and thus to fulfill Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission? Answer is: alas! When will that day come when the fortunate people of England, France, Russia and America constantly and congregationally chant the names of Hari and glorify the names of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, holding flags, mridangas and kartalas in their hands? Alas, when will that day come when the white western devotees stretch up their hands and while chanting Jai Shri Sachidananda Ki Jaya, embrace the devotees of our country as brothers? When will that day come when they say, O Vaishnava brothers, we have taken shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Deva, who is the ocean of love. Now please embrace us. When will that day come when pure transcendental love for the Vaishnavas is the only occupation of all living entities, and as the rivers mix into the ocean, all insignificant religions mix into the unlimited Vaishnava religion? Third question: did Srila Thakur Bhaktivinoda appeal to all Vaishnavas and saintly persons to preach Mahaprabhu's Sankirtana Dharma all over the world? Answer is: O pure devotees, Vaishnava Dharma preached by Sri Gauranga is the supreme treasury of all living entities. The religious principles that are being preached with pomp in every country are incomplete and full of faults. When those religious principles diminish and hide inside their fort, supreme religious principles will come forward and be spread all over the world. The happiest moment has arrived. Now everyone should encourage the preaching of Sri Namahatta with determination. All the hawkers, the devotees of Gauranga, should carry the merchandise of the pure holy names on their heads. They should preach in India and the rest of the world about the purifying holy names of Hari and the topics of our beloved Sri Gauranga. Fourth question. How did Sri Thakur Bhakti Vinoda start preaching through Sri Namahatta and how did he desire its future success? Answer is, the preaching work of Sri Namahatta has begun. Godruma, which is one of the 9 islands of Navadvipa, is the ideal and original place of Namahatta. At that place, a few Vaishnavas who are attached to the chanting of the holy names of Hari are arranging the preaching work of Namahatta. Those who are preaching the Lord's holy names by establishing an ashrama in a remote village or in the city are the shopkeepers of the holy names. Those who are preaching the holy names village to village, carrying the merchandise of the holy names on their heads, are the hawkers of the holy names. In a brochure about Godruma, names of a few servants of Namahatta have been published. Perhaps Srimad Gauranga Prabhu, who delivered the entire universe, desires to award the pure holy names to the people of the whole world. We hope that within a short time, Vaishnava Dharma preached by Sriman Mahaprabhu will purify the sinful western countries. Fifth question. What prediction was made by a Mahajana to indicate that the Hari's holy names would be glorified all over the world? Answer is, those who selflessly preach the Lord's holy names will be worshipable everywhere. There is no doubt that the spiritual effulgence of the pure holy names will soon dissipate the darkness of false argument. We hope that very soon the Namahatta program will expand in a huge way. The positions and titles that have entered into the Sri Gauranga Sampradaya will soon be destroyed and ultimately the victory flag of the pure holy names will continue to soar in the eastern and western countries. Sixth question. What is the sign that Sri Chaitanya's mission will spread all over the world in the near future? Answer is, the Vaishnavas will be glad to hear that a Muslim from the district of Noyakhali took shelter of Vaishnava Dharma after careful consideration. On the strength of great piety, that saintly person has attained such a reward. I hope that by the mercy of Sri Mahaprabhu, all Muslims and Mlechas will soon accept this pure Vaishnava religion. There is no doubt that the use of mridangas, kartalas and kirtana melodies are forcefully entering other religions and soon Sri Chaitanya's mission will spread all over the world. Seventh question. Is there any indication that Sriman Mahaprabhu's prediction will soon become successful? Answer is, the signs that the unique supreme religious principle, congregational chanting of Hari's holy names, will soon be preached all over the world are seen everywhere. Christians have started to relish chanting the holy names accompanied by mridangas and kartalas. Soon they will take Sri Chaitanya Deva's mridangas and kartalas to countries like England. They will realize that Sri Krishna is the supreme Brahman, the greatest of all. The Lord's holy names are unlimitedly glorious, and simply by the Vaishnava's mercy, we make spiritual advancement. The Christians will sing, the two brothers Gaur and Nitai have come. By seeing them, the eyes become fully satisfied. They will dance accompanied by mridangas and kartalas. Moreover, Christians who are striving for liberation are also establishing the supremacy of Sankirtana in some way or other. After seeing all these signs, we hope that the time has come for everyone to follow Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order. Although Kirtana has not manifest in other sampradayas, is in a completely pure state. There is no doubt that within a short time, Sriman Mahaprabhu's prediction will bear fruit. Nothing becomes pure immediately. In the beginning, Kirtana appears with contamination, then gradually becomes completely pure. 8th question. In what religion is pure brotherhood possible? Answer is, singing the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Lord and establishing brotherhood with everyone based on love for God is the pure religious principle. Gradually, when the offensive portions of the established religions are destroyed, there will be no more differences in the bhajana performed by the various sampradayas, nor any quarrel between them. Then, as brothers, the people of all varnas, castes, and countries will spontaneously chant the holy names of the Supreme Lord together. At that time, no one will hate anyone or consider others dog eaters, nor will anyone be overwhelmed by the pride of high birth. The living entities will not forget the principle of natural brotherhood. Taking a pitcher filled with the mellows of love of God, Haridasa will then pour nectar into Srivasa's mouth, and Srivasa, after smearing the dust from Sri Haridasa's feet on his body, will spontaneously dance with chanting, O Chaitanya, O Nityananda. 9th question. How did Sri Bhakti Vinoda pray to the Supreme Lord for the welfare of the entire world? Answer is, O God, reveal thy most valuable truths to all, so that your own may not be numbered among the fanatics and the crazed, and the whole of mankind may be accepted as your own. 10th question. How does the Supreme Lord call the devotees who have attained love of God? Answer is, I have carefully saved this storehouse of rasa for you. You alone are qualified for this. Do not worry or lament, because you have attained immortality. You have broken all shackles for me. I can never repay the debt of your love. With that, we finish 108th chapter. And with that, we also finish all the chapters in this book, Sri Bhakti Vinoda Vani Vaibhav. At the end, a few pages, the literary works of Thakur Bhakti Vinoda is given. It is given in the format, the year and the work done. So I will be reciting similarly. 1849, Ula Chandi Mahatmya, Bengali verses composed at the tender age of 11 years old, glorifying the deity of goddess Ula Chandi in Ula, Birnagar, the town of his birth. 1850, Hari Katha, a poem in Bengali. 1850, Leela Kirtana, a poem in Bengali. 1851, Shumbha Nishumbha Yuddha, Bengali verses about the famous ancient battle between goddess Durga and two demons. 1855, articles, contributions of articles to various religion and national periodicals and magazines commenced from this year. 1857, Poriate Part 1, a poem in classical English about the wanderings of Porus, who fought Alexander the Great in the pre-Christian era. 1858, Poriate Part 2, the second of what was planned to be 12-part series, but which was never completed. Still, these two volumes constitute an epic composition. 1860, Mats of Orissa, English prose narratives about the various temples, monasteries and holy shrines in Orissa, which were visited on pilgrimage by Thakur Bhakti Vinoda. 1863, Vijayanagrama, Srila Bhakti Vinoda's description of his affectionate return to the beautiful village of Ula, his birthplace. 1863, Sannyasi, an intricately detailed story of the adventures of a young sannyasi traveling throughout ancient India and abroad. The narrative is naturally full of important spiritual lessons. 1863 Our Wants, an essay in English prose. 1866 Speech on Gautama, a lecture in English about Gautama Muni and the philosophy of Nyaya, which is logic. 1868 Sachidananda Premalankara, a poem in Bengali on the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. 1869 The Bhagavad, its philosophy, its ethics and its theology. In 1870 Garbha Stotra Vyakhya, which is purport of the Garbha Stotra, or Sambandha Tattva Chandrika, a moonbeam of the truth of eternal relationship, a documentary in Bengali prose on the Garbha Stotra, prayers by the demigods to Sri Krishna in the womb, from the 2nd chapter to the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. In 1871, Thakur Haridasa, 10 English verses about the disappearance of Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur, which are engraved in marble on the Samadhi tomb of Srila Haridas by the seashore at Jagannath Puri. 1871 The Temple of Jagannath at Puri, an English prose essay describing the history of the establishment of the great temple in Puri, Odisha. In 1871 The Personality of Godhead, an essay in English prose. In 1871 Saragrahi Vaishnava, a 22-verse English poem describing the mood of a devotee who knows how to remain aloof from gross worldly attractions while extracting the essence of Krishna consciousness everywhere and in everything. 1871 A Beacon Light, English prose. 1871 To Love God, a short English article describing bhakti, love, as the religion of the soul. 1871 The Atibaris of Odisha, a long letter in English to the editors of the Progress, exposing a questionable sect of pseudo-Vaishnavas popular in Odisha. 1872 Vedanta Adhikarana Mala, a compilation of Sanskrit verses on Vedanta philosophy with Srila Bhakti Vinoda's own Bengali translations and explanations. 1873 Datta Kaustuba, 104 Sanskrit verses on Vaishnava philosophy composed by Srila Bhakti Vinoda, including his own Sanskrit prose commentary. In 1878 Datta Vamsa Mala, Sanskrit verses giving an genealogical description of the Datta family of Bali Samaj. Since he was born Kedarnath Datta this is a chronicle of Sri Bhakti Vinoda's own family tree. In 1878 Bodha Vijaya Kavyam, Sanskrit verses soundly defeating the atheistic philosophy of Buddhism point for point. 1880 Sri Krishna Samhita, an amazing and revolutionary treatise on the science of Lord Krishna, his pastimes and his devotees. The book contains an 83-page introduction in which Thakur Bhakti Vinoda discusses the philosophy and development of Indian religion from a historical and geographical platform. In the actual Samhita portion of the book, he has composed 281 Sanskrit verses and divided them into 10 chapters, which deal with descriptions of the spiritual world, the multifarious energies of the Lord, his incarnations, astonishing aspects of his pastimes, descriptions of how Lord Krishna removes specific demonic obstacles in order for his devotees to attain the mood of Vraja, and a detailed analysis of the character of one who has attained Krishna's association, etc. Accompanying the Sanskrit verses are Bhakti Vinoda's Bengali prose, translations and explanations. At the end of the book, the Thakura gives a 50-page conclusion in which religious philosophy is discussed in terms of the principles of Sambandha, Abhidheya and Prayojana. In 1881, Kalyana Kalpataru, a Vaishnava Bengali songbook describing a desire tree that Srila Bhaktivinoda had brought directly from the spiritual world. In 1881, Sajjan Tosani, this was a monthly Vaishnava periodical in the Bengali language which Bhaktivinoda began to edit and publish, commencing from the year 1881 and continuing for 17 volumes. 1883, review of the Sanskrit book Nitya Rupa Samsthapanam. The book was composed in Sanskrit by Bhaktivinoda's contemporary named Pandit Upendra Mohan Goswami, Nyaya Ratna. In 1885, Vishwa Vaishnava Kalpa Tavi, a small booklet published in order to acquaint the public with the functions and aims of a spiritual society, he personally organized in Calcutta, called the Sri Vishwa Vaishnava Sabha, the Association of Universal Vaishnavas. In 1886, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, published and edited by Srila Bhaktivinoda, with the Sanskrit commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, entitled Sarartha Varsini. In 1886, Sri Chaitanya Shikshamrita, a philosophical work in Bengali prose, which is meant to show exactly how the teachings of Lord Chaitanya are to be applied in the modern world. These nectarian teachings, based on Lord Chaitanya's instructions to Srila Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, as found in Chaitanya Charitamrita, are just like a shower or pure nectar, and therefore the book is divided into 8 showers, each of these being subdivided into downpours. The 8 showers are listed as follows: first, ascertainment of the topmost religion; second, secondary duties or religious activities; third, primary duties or regulative devotional service; fourth, discussions on spontaneous devotional service; fifth, discussions on ecstatic devotional service; sixth, discussions on devotional service in pure love of God; seventh, discussions on transcendental mellow; eighth is conclusion. In 1886, Sanmodana Bhasyam, Bhajana Darpana Bhasya, Dasopnishad Churnika, Bhavavali, Prema Pradeepa, and Sri Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram was also published. In 1887, Sri Krishna Vijaya, a famous Bengali verse epic on the pastimes of Sri Krishna, written in the early 1470s. In 1887, Sri Chaitanya Upanishad, part of the Atharva Veda. In 1888, Vaishnava Siddhanta Mala, Bengali prose work that gives a crystallization of all the basic tenets of Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. In 1890, Amnaya Sutram, a classical Sanskrit composition based on the Upanishads, presented in the traditional style as 130 aphorisms plus a short commentary on each aphorism in Sanskrit, quoted from various ancient scriptures. In 1890, Sri Navadvipa Dhama Mahatmyam, 18 chapters of Bengali verse in which Srila Bhaktivinoda describes the complete tour of the 9 islands of Navadvipa that was traversed by Lord Nityananda. In 1890, Sri Navadvipa Dhama Mahatmyam, Siddhanta Darpanam. In 1891, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Sri Godruma Kalpatavi. In 1892, Sri Harinama, the second chapter of Vaishnava Siddhanta Mala, excerpted and published in pamphlet form. In 1892, Harinama, the third chapter of Vaishnava Siddhanta Mala. In 1892, Sri Nama Tattva Shikshashtaka, the fourth chapter of Vaishnava Siddhanta Mala. Sri Nama Mahima, fifth chapter of Vaishnava Siddhanta Mala. Sri Nama Prachara, sixth chapter of Vaishnava Siddhanta Mala. Sriman Mahaprabhu's Shiksha, a book written by Srila Bhaktivinoda in 11 chapters. In 1893, Tattva Viveka or Satchid Ananda Anubhuti. In this book, Thakur Bhaktivinoda discusses the different precepts of the great Vaishnava Acharyas as compared to the ideas of the other famous philosophers, both Oriental and Western. In 1893, Shoka Satana, Saranagati, Geetavali, Geetamala, Bola Sangita, Dalalera Gita, Nama Bhajana, Jaiva Dharma, Tattvam Sutram were also composed. In 1894, Vedarka Didhiti, Tattva Muktavali was also composed. In 1895, Amrita Pravaha Bhasya, a Bengali commentary on Krishnadasa Kaviraj Goswami's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. In 1895, Hari Bhakti Kalpalatika, Shodasa Grantha, Shri Gauranga Stava Kalpataru, Manha Santosani, Mukunda Mala Srotam, Shri Lakshmi Charita, Balakrishna Sahasranama, Gopala Sahasranama, Krishna Stotra Satanama, Radhika Sahasranama, all these 4 different Nam Sutras excerpted from the Narada Pancharatra. In 1895 only, Sriman Mahaprabhur Astakaliya Leela Smarana Mangala Stotram, an 11-verse Sanskrit poem on the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya by an unknown Vaishnava author, edited and published by Thakur Bhaktivinoda. In 1896, Shri Gauranga Leela Smarana Mangala Stotram, Shri Ramanuja Upadesha Artha Panchaka Swalikhita Jivani was also published. In 1897, Brahma Samhita. In 1898, Shri Krishna Karnamrita, Piyusha Varshini Vrita, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. This edition was published by Thakur Bhaktivinoda with the Sanskrit commentary Dvaita Bhasyam, explanation of the supreme duality by Sripad Madhavacharya. In 1898, Shri Goloka Mahatmyam, The Hindu Idols, a 32-page English letter written to the Tract Society of Calcutta. In 1899, Shri Bhajanamrita, Shri Navadvipa Bhava Taranga. In 1900, Harinama Chintamani. In 1901, Srimad Bhagavatarka Marichi Mala, Padma Purana, Sankalpa Kalpadruma. In 1902, Bhajana Rahasya, Satkriya Sara Deepika. Satkriya Sara Deepika was in 1904. In 1906, Prema Vivarta. In 1907, Swaniyama Dvadasakam. And few books and works of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur have no specific dates of publication, like Navadvipa Satakam, Dasa Mula Niryasa, Shri Vishnu Priya O Ananda Bazar Patrika, Baldeva Vidya Bhushana Charita, and Vedanta Sutra. With that, we fully complete this book. My sincere obeisances at the lotus feet of the divine couple Sri Sri Radha Krishna. I have learned a lot from this book, and I hope you all could as well. I extend my sincere apologies to everyone if I was not up to the mark or could not fulfill your expectations, and knowingly or unknowingly could have committed any mistake. Please forgive me for that. And I believe this is just the start, and implementing what we have read in this book is a crucial step. So I beg the mercy of Srila Gurudev and all of you Vaishnavas so that I could do this. I offer my sincere obeisances at the lotus feet of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura, without whose mercy this service could not have been fulfilled. I also offer my obeisances at the lotus feet of my Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Vibhud Bodhayan Goswami Maharaj Ji, and our Guru Parampara. I thank him for considering me worth this service, and I wish to always serve him and beg to bestow his mercy on me. I would also like to thank Shripad Yagneshwar Prabhuji, who have given me this opportunity, this book, and also provided me with the opportunity to conduct this service. Lastly, I would like to request all of you to continue chanting Harinam and develop love of God. I once again beg all of you Vaishnavas to bless me so that I can move forward in this path of spiritual advancement, and of course by the mercy of my Gurudev. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.